You believe it, chat? Can you believe it? I am rate limited on Blue Sky right now. Isn't that ridiculous? How am I rate limited? I haven't even been on it in like a couple days. Something's funky. But welcome on in, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Tuesday. Oh, I started late and I forgot to advertise stream all day today. It's been that kind of day. But if you are around, I very much appreciate you being here. It is good to be back. We're gonna make some emotes today. Well, some, and by some I mean maybe one. Maybe one. We'll see how it goes. Welcome in. I do need to figure out what emote I'm going to make though. I don't even know what expression I want. I had a bunch of ideas last week and then they all just emptied from my little brain hole. Don't know a single thing. I don't know what to make. What do I do? I'm thinking of maybe making like a laughing one, like a keck one almost maybe. A laugh would be nice. I guess we'll see. Not sure. Something that's simple. Play the next song. Why are you freezing? Also, I figured out. Okay. My music has been very quiet on my end for like the last however long. Holy smokes! And I realized that it's because I had a compressor on the, like as a filter in OBS. I had a compressor on it, and it was like the threshold was like -60 dB. Like it was just ridiculously low for no reason. I did not understand why that was on. It made me laugh. I saw it though. Let's see here. Yeah, I was thinking of like laugh or like a keck or a wheeze. I know oh, who was it? Light's wheezy mode. I use it all the time. If you've seen me in Twitch chats, I use it like every other sentence. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull up a couple images and it'll be good. I also like a good scream. It's a good one too. Let's see. It doesn't seem to be a wheeze. There it is. In front of my eyes. There we go. Okay. Ooh, what's that noise? Yeah, that's just part of the song. I did not like that. It was like breaking eggshells. Oh, thank you. So yeah, either we'll make a laughing one or we'll make a jokey one. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get started, chat. Hello and welcome in. It is me, your dog. I'm your dog now. You have to feed me and water me and all that kind of stuff. Hi, welcome in. We're cruising today. I just poured myself a drink. We are big chilling. I realized I have this I've talked about it before. I think I have this like cream liqueur, not whiskey. Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky plus Wayne equals whiskey. Wayne Gretzky liqueur. And it's super good, but like lately I've just realized like I haven't had it in a while, so it was kind of like strong on the first initial sips. I just add milk. Add milk and it dilutes it. Easy. So I just add like an extra like half a shot of milk and it's perfect. It's a perfect sipping drink now. Super, super excited. But hell yeah. We are big chillin'. If you're not too sleepy. Let's see here. Okay. So, I think my integrations are wrong on Discord because like it doesn't show that I'm live. It should, but it doesn't. Connections. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna be big chiller. I'm just gonna make sure that my display capture's cropped properly. It should be. See why it wouldn't be. I also don't have my tablet plugged in. I need to do that. Oops. I'm falling apart today. There, can I move now? How am I moving? Oh yeah, that's good. We're cruising. We're cruising. I have a lot of stuff to set up still. Oopsie. Ooh. Today was rushed. I got home at like 6 o'clock and then I was like, I'll just chill for a bit. And then I realized I got a letter. Well, I like got my mail, right? I got a letter, FedEx, demanding payment for their stuff. And I tried to call them 2 or 3 times now. And technical difficulty each time. But I need to call them again because they're demanding payment like for a customs and duties, which is absolutely reasonable. Like I want to pay my duties and taxes on a package that I received back in June. Like it's been forever since this package arrived. And they just like, they're demanding brokerage fees and they didn't even like ask me, hey, can I be your broker? Like that's illegal. It's illegal to demand a brokerage fee when I didn't authorize you to be my customs broker. So nice try. I gotta talk to someone at the invoice center and be like, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because that's not good. They can't do that. They can't do that. They get away with it a lot apparently. And people are like, oh, you just have to pay. No, you don't. We have the Customs Act, baby. A legislature that protects us from shit like this. You don't gotta fuck around with that no more. You don't mess with this dog, you get bit. Mess with the buppo, you get the stabble. Gotta move my keyboard up. Get my tablet. There we go. We are cruising now. Do I have that up? Yeah. So yeah, I got to make a phone call tomorrow, and I have like everything written out. We'll be good, but like, still a pain in the ass. Yeah. Canadian Customs Act, Section 32, line paragraph 6 is like, hey, you need written authorization to be a customs broker. I don't have it. Find proof. Prove to me that I showed you. You don't have nothing. You guys are fucked. Nice try. Nice try though. Okay, I think the music volume's good. I think it's been good. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here though. But yes, we're going to get started right away here. I'm going to set up a quick project and save it. Again, I don't know what to do. I don't know what emote. I think we'll try a laughing one. And if that doesn't work, we'll draw a hand. It'll be that easy. Because I want to what do I want to do? I forget what I was going to say. Oh, because a hand would make like a nice like little emote for like waving or like a tail wag or something. I think that would be nice. Pair with a tail wag. Illustration. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this puppy We'll say but words. Wave. What's the one other than wave that I said I'd do? Laugh. We'll do LOL. How about that? I don't know. I have no idea, chat. I'm falling apart already. It hasn't even been like 10 minutes. Has it been 10 minutes? Oh, we've been live for 15. Okay, yeah, I can start falling apart now. It's socially acceptable now. Where's my drink? Where's my goddamn drink? Falling apart. Not even like 2 shots in here. Why am I so ookie dookie? Ookie pookie. Okay. Let's see here. Is that plugged in? Is my pen working? Yes. Does my brush work properly? Yes. Don't have to restart my computer accidentally. It happens. It happens, chat. Like it just or I have to like go to like the device manager and like reset a bunch of drivers. Do any of you deal with that? Because that is a pain. It's a pain to deal with. Where it's like, oh, it's unresponsive. You have to restart your computer, says Wake Home. I'm like, don't make me do that. Fix your software. Just do a hard reset. But good for them, I guess. Good for them. Save that there. Okay, I think we can get started. We're just gonna be chilling. I was thinking of putting on some either Dark Souls music or what was I gonna say? Dark Souls music or the weed playlist was good. The last time we did art and we put the weed playlist on, that was good. That one or what's what I was just listening to. I was just listening to a playlist today. And it was really, really good. I forget what it is called, but it was really good. It's on my Spotify somewhere, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Slow songs to get railed to. That's not the one that I wanted to play, but that's nice. That's a good playlist. It's kind of banger. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, we're gonna listen to Folly. If you don't know who Folly is, neither did I until like a little Moki, a little magic Moki. Actually don't know their username off the top of my head. Oh well. Good friend of mine, good Moki. Moki's a good boy. Made me a playlist on Spotify. Made a little custom curated playlist. It's the cutest thing ever. And one of the songs is from Folly, and it's a very nice lo-fi stuff. So we'll probably play some of that. I'm gonna pause that right now and just run through the discography. There we go. That's a big word. That's a big word for me. Discography. 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 Big word. Discography. I'll just check the audio levels and then we'll be good to go. We'll get started here. Let's just make sure that this is working. I think those are good. Yeah, let's get going, chat. Let's get playing. And by playing, I mean doing art. Oh, there we go. Oh, also, I was going to move... I forgot to do this. I was going to move the... text over a little bit. Just a little bit. Whoops, wrong one. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Done. Perfect. Just enough, because then little puppy there has room to breathe. Yes. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing today, chat? I don't even know. So, when people laugh, do people do that still nowadays? I don't even know. Been a while. What do they do when they laugh? What do people do when they laugh? Do people laugh? I already said that. Kind of like that, right? Yeah, let's look at my references. I'm a bit stupid. I could just look at my references. How to do that. Move that down there. I have so many windows open, chat. Also, I have my Minecraft server running like in the background. We're gonna see how that performs. I don't see any diagnostics that says like, hey, your server's bogging down and it's running like shit. So we say winning. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Let's get our sketching one there. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna make Doggy. I don't have a palette for dog. I should have a palette up here, shouldn't I? I didn't know you can make fires. Okay, let's do that. Let's open up. It's one of these. Snooper? Oh, there it is. Let's take off this gradient and then we can make some colors. Control drag. Off the shading. Gradient. There we go. Okay, there's flats. There are some flat colors. I don't know if that's different, but we'll see. Okay, so we got dark blue, the darkest blue. Drawing color. Oops. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Darker blue. Is there more than that, chat? I don't even remember. Is there more blue on me? I know there's that. Oh yes, there's the gray. I only have like 5 colors. Then the lights bluish, and then darkish bluish. There we go. And then we'll add white and black just for fun. There. And these are princess colors, by the way. We love prince in this house. There, and then yeah, just add the... Cool, okay. Right, is that... Yeah. Okay. Alright, got a palette. Got a palette over here. Which is good. Good stuff. Yummy, yummy. How do draw head? How head? How does head work? Is circle, right? We'll do some warm-up sketches. I don't know how to. I don't think I've ever really done warm-up sketches before, but I goddamn need it. Let's see here. I'm not sitting properly because my elbow's in a bad position. Or is it my chair? My chair's in a bad position. Is that right? Oh! I'm jumping all over. I'm going up and down. That's better. Okay. It's also getting hot in here. Today was such a nice cold day. Oh, such a nice cold day out. It was only like 17 Celsius. So I was living good. Oh, it was so nice. I could wear a sweater outside and the air was crispy. Perfect weather. Perfect weather. It's been a dreadfully hot summer, so that was very welcome today. I don't even know what I'm doing. Quick dog. Angry dog. Do you quit that racket? Hmm. Quick draw, quick draw. I always make this note like way too long, so let's try and fix that a little bit. Cheek. We can draw actual eyes. Let's try that. Oh, the nose is kind of wonky now in this perspective. That? See? Hmm. That? By no means the finished sketch, we're just warming up still. Draw the lips. A little thicker. So what went wrong there? Actually, not bad. That's not terrible. Okay. And then just a really quick lining. Actually, let's try it with a pen. Gotta get practice. I gotta practice my lining. It's still lacking in quite a few ways. Or not my line, my anatomy. I'm not very good without references, which isn't to say that I need to be good without them, but it's just that my understanding of anatomy is heavily... It could be improved. That's all. Certainly don't need good anatomy know-how in order to be good. Exhibit A me. But it helps. It helps a lot to know basic anatomy. Like, all I really know is stuff I picked up from YouTube tutorials back when I was like, what, how old would I have been? Way too young. That's a very thick ear, but we're gonna vibe with it right now. It's a warm-up sketch. I really like how that hair turned out. I should do, even just for learning how, or not learning, but even just drafting out. A light touch on with a G pen, eh? I think it's because my stabilization isn't very... Actually, no, I can do it with my lining pens. Interesting. Okay, cool. So it's going to lose its charm when I do that, which is okay. So if I had to change it, I think this is just a bit too wide. I think I kind of knew that, though, going in. I think I mentioned that, I think. If I squeeze that in a little bit, then suddenly it's not as bad. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Pretty cute. I also maybe bring the chin forward a little bit. Or maybe up? I don't know. It looks good there. Probably a thicker lip too would help with that. Like that, maybe? It kind of helps. Good warm up. got my inking hands all nice and ready. So let's get sketching. So for laughing, let me get my little references up. I like my references. They provide me with some good ideas. Have our head. It's pretty good. Oh my god, that's a really good circle. Wahoo! Kind of like a... I'm thinking like having the nose kind of up like this and then... Something like that maybe? Or like I don't know. Something like that would be kind of cute. Little toothy grin. I guess I can actually sketch out. Where would the ears be? They'd be kind of like back here, right? Would they? Or is that too big? Really? Obviously this won't all be in the frame. Like I think like when we crop it, it'll kind of be like this big. So it'll clip off the little part here, but that's okay. So the snout kind of like goes like that. Chin. I should pull up my snoofer. That'll be a good reference image to have. Just as a style. Keep the styles consistent. Even though I don't really have a consistent style. I will admit that much. My style is not consistent, and that's okay. Because style is something that should evolve and change. Like when I do my big pieces, like when I do, is it in my recents? No, I don't think it is. Let's see here. Like when I do big pieces, thinking of like the Volpino one that I made for his birthday way back. Where is that? Yeah, like this one. Like when I made this, like this has a very distinct style, right? Has very particular eye, has a very particular eye, particular line art, particular colors, particular like hatching and stuff. And what other ones do I got here? I also had my... Where are you? Do I not have my art? Oh, there it is. I'm so stupid. I had like Metro. Metro has also a very distinct style. The same kind of thing with like the distinct lines. I didn't add any hatching though. That's something that I think I might have just forgotten to add. I'm not gonna lie. But same kind of thing, like very distinct stylized hair and line art, and the eyeball, of course. All the love and focus into that, because I love eyeballs. I want to eat it up. I like this one too though with the, I tried something new with the grainy kind of texture. The background was something that I really loved and put a lot of effort into, which is cool. I really like this piece. I think this one's probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever made. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everything about it just really turned out well. And I don't quite know why. I think it's because I kind of tried something new with the base. Like, where's my base layer here? Do I still have that? I have my sketches still. There are all those. Oh, it'll be under in there. The eye. Where's the color layer? Oh, right there. There's the shading. it's so dark. Oh, it's because it's overlaid. How do all these layers work together? Oh, there we go. Hey, there's my sketch. It's just... Sketch turned out very simple. Oh! That's right, I had a pose reference. Whenever I use pose references, chat, it changes everything. I should be doing that more often. Yeah, I had a pose reference that was really, really good. Yeah. And so I could map out, like, the shape of the head really nice and the shoulders. And then I had, like, really nice, I had really nice like, sketch lines. Like, I had, like, this. So I could, like, say, okay, the ear goes here, and then it goes ch-ch-ch-ch. Like, it worked out well because of that, I think. Yeah. And I also had a good vision. I had the vision for this one. Like some pieces, like it kind of just hit or miss. Like you'd kind of just say, that's all right for a pose or something. This one I had like a very clear vision, especially with that background. Like with the metronome, that went hard. I will say it went pretty hard. I could have done the motion blur a little bit more just to really emphasize that it's swinging back and forth, but I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with it, especially with the little music texture in the background here. I really liked how that looked, how that overlaid onto the scene. I am really in love with this piece. And Vault too. Vault was a big one when it comes to like cell shading. This lighting was very interesting for me with like the hard shadows and stuff, and then combined with the soft. I was combining it with the soft. I'll be real. I was combining it with the soft because I was afraid of sharp edges. Usually, it's a lot easier and a lot easier to hide mistakes when you just kind of blur the line. But especially in here, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, blur. But I bet you I could redo this now, and I would probably feel a lot more confident with these sharp lines. Even though, really, like, all things considered, it actually turned out pretty good with the blurred lines. This eyeball, I still love this eyeball. Turned out so good with the little shading. Art is good when you don't force yourself to do art, I suppose. Because a lot of this art that I really, really love, it was made during art fight, or it was like the one of Jack. Oh my god, the one of Jack. That one was made during art fight. Where is that one here? I know you're in here somewhere. There you are. Like the one I made of Jack? Like, look at that. Like, god damn. This was like the break that yeah, you might remember of me streaming this like 2 summers ago. Or was it last summer? Was this last summer? This was last summer. Making this piece. This was the catalyst. This was the one that really jump-started this sort of hatching, like, rendering style and like this, my confidence in all of it. I don't think, like, this blur brush is like really cool and I really like how it turned out, but nowadays I would just opt for like a sharp edge just because I think it looks a bit cleaner. I do like the texture of it though. I think in this context it looks really good. The lollipop I'll never like. I'll never like the lollipop, and I think it's because I could have just done like a little bit of hatching just to make that edge a little bit stronger. Like I could have made this hatching a little bit stronger. But that's you can always pinpoint something. Of course you can always add a little bit of something, a little bit of spice. Yeah, and then it was like the eyeballs. The eyeballs really. This was the first time I kind of played with this style of eye, and I was like, yeah, I literally like this. This is where I'm going. And the eyebrows too. Eyebrows are just so full of energy. It's a fun piece. This is such a good one. But again, just born of art fight because I was like, hey, I really like this character. I want to have fun with them. So, yeah. I gotta do more of that. I gotta do more of doing art for fun, like the snoofer too. Snoofer because I wanted to. And it wasn't a commission or anything. Like the more that I think about it, the more I just think I'm a better artist when I don't have pressure on myself, or when I don't have pressure to perform well, if that makes sense. When I just have my own timeline, but I can just say, okay, I don't have a deadline, I don't have anything, just have fun with it. Go until you don't want to. So like with these emotes, I think it's gonna be very therapeutic to do these. Yeah, weird tangent, but it goes to be said that, yeah, sometimes just taking a break from it and just saying, hey, like, it's okay to enjoy yourself. It's okay to enjoy your art and just take it easy sometimes. Like, that's where it's gonna be. I've never really done that before. All of my creative stuff, looking back on my life, has always just been like for an audience. Like, For crochet, for instance. Crocheting, I've never made anything for myself. Ever. I've crocheted so many pieces. They were all gifts. All of them gifts. I never made anything for myself. For art class and stuff, I made stuff for art class, for sure. And I did lots of drawings and paintings traditionally when I was growing up. And also usually for an audience. For art class, I did it for the teacher. I did it for the marks. Although back then it was different. Like I also did art for like my local exhibition and like for art contests and stuff. That was different though, I feel. Because it wasn't people paying me money. It wasn't people saying, hey, can you do this for me? It was me saying, hey, I want to do this for you. So it's the same kind of validation, I suppose. Would it be? I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm trying to think. I can't really think right now. Because again, it was coming from a place of I want to do this, and it wasn't from a place of I have to do this / I want to make you happy, so I will do this, as opposed to I want to do this for the sake of doing this. I suppose that's the difference. Yeah. I think that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Yeah. We'll keep drawing, I'm just rambling as I do it. Yeah, it's a humbling thought. And that's why I kind of fell into the OC thing. Like during this art fight, I didn't make too much art. Also because I was starting on antidepressants, and so I was just kind of in a mental state, you know, as I was coming up on these antidepressants. So I was feeling very lackluster. However, like leading up to it, making the figments, making my OC figments, my favorite little babies. That was again just born of, hey, I want to make something. Like I see other people making OCs and it looks like a lot of fun. I want to try that. Wild. It's wild. Isn't it wild what you can do when you want to do something and you're motivated by something that you want to do and not you have to do? Where are my figments? Where the fuck are ya? There you are. There you are. Like making like all this little lore and stuff, like typing out all of this stuff, the figments, the fleeting images of grotesque metaphysical emulations of natural things. That kind of thing, like it was so fun. Like taking these random stock images, adding halftone stuff. I don't know who this guy is. I think he's a prime minister at some point. Maybe during 2003, I don't remember. But again, in 2003, there wasn't Zoom groups. That was something that slipped through my brain. Oops, I should have said like Skype groups or something. Like online forums or something like that. Oopsie. But yeah, it was just it's so fun making this world and like exploring things just out of my own creativity, like I used to do all the time back in high school and back in middle school. Making all of these little things, like if someone you know claims to have encountered a figment, or suddenly begins chat. I need a proofreader. I need a professional proofreader for my figment lore. I am taking applications. I will pay you 16 goldfish crackers a month if you proof me my shit. Just so you know. Yeah. Drowsiness or increased energy. One or the other. Night terrors or disturbing dreams. Social withdrawal. Inexplicable calmness or bliss. Sudden or inexplicable mutism. Accurate forewarnings and predictions of the future. I love like these warning signs. Some of them aren't bad. Like they're not bad things. Social withdrawal, sure. Night terrors, yes. Drowsiness, etc. That's not great. Inexplicable calmness. What's wrong with that? What's bad? What's bad about being calm? What's bad about having accurate forewarnings or predictions of the future? You know? Besides, you know, doubt and anxiety. Also, that Department of Metaphysical Intelligence of Canada, not a real thing. Disclaimer, I made that up. Completely made up. This postal code leads like to a weird island by Ottawa, I think. I can't remember. It's a little area in Ottawa, our capital city of Canada. But yeah, Figment suspected, and etc., and then you don't know what it says, but then you can kind of say like, oh, there is a family of 4 found brutally murdered in their suburban home. And authorities are now exploring the unsettling possibility that a Figment, enigmatic metaphysical manifestation, may be responsible for the heinous crime. Ooh! It's very fun to make these little stories and to pretend to be like, you know, things like the tragedy unfolded yesterday when neighbors reported unusual disturbances and strange sightings near the residence of the victims, the Marcus family. Witnesses reported fleeting and grotesque apparitions resembling unnatural entities lurking in the victims' something home, or resemblance figments. I think I actually wrote this. Yeah, I actually wrote out the article and then covered it up. But how it actually covered up, it kind of stumbled into like, oh, you could pick out enough words from here to get some context, like. Description, oh, exhibited boar resemblance figments. Oh, they thought it was figments. Manifestations, they defy physics of our universe. Upon discovering bodies, 42, 38, probably the ages. Children, Ethan, was extreme gruesome. Like, you can pick out the words and like, oh, you can piece it together. Which I think, honestly, that is like super satisfying to me when I read like kind of like ARG shit and puzzles like that. So that's what inspired me to kind of like, oh, I'll just make a really cool article and then just push it to the back, and kaboom. It turned out actually really well. The way it covered up, like completely by chance, by the way, that it like arranged itself into this particular order, but it was yeah, you get it, you get it. But also like the Rover Park newspaper, I don't know what Rover Park is. That doesn't exist in Saskatchewan. No, it doesn't exist. 75 cents back in 2003 makes sense. Now it's like $4. But like, yeah, this very much reads as an opinion piece like that you would find in like small town newspapers. Small town newspapers, like sure, there's journalism, but like, you know, everyone thinks the same things. They're very biased. Especially even in my local town, there was quite a bit of bias in these quote unquote like objective journalism kind of articles. So you can see that like, oh, we contacted the doctor, a world famous physicist, and much like the so-called scientists or many other scholars of the field are baffled by the nature of figments. Yeah, and then it just like starts shilling out, like kind of explaining some of the universe of the lore of this place. Like, if you think that sounds weird or perhaps religious, because like, you know, figments aren't human, aren't natural, you're not alone. You know, the Church of Truth, a popular reignition of the Christian faith through social media and Skype groups, has compiled several public lists of inconsistencies surrounding etc., government research wide voiced. Without the Prime Minister's health, are we really going to be protected if we just don't know how threatening figments are? Dr. Shidzwiski does not seem to be so scared. There are a lot we don't know, but there are things we do know. We do know that they are conscious beings and that they choose to avoid humans as much as possible. I got him to mistake there. They only appear when they cannot be harmed, which is why most sightings and reports occur during sleep paralysis or dream. Upon questioning about the several murders around the country that point towards figments, he did not make a comment. And of course, an opinion piece would say something like that to be like, oh, they're hiding something. Even though, in reality, a professional, a scientist, Dr. Shulsky, a physicist at the MIT, would not have an opinion about the brutal murders. Like, they wouldn't say anything about, oh, why did they kill these people? If I say anything, I'm gonna feed you information that you're just gonna thrive off of and twist, so I'm not gonna say anything. Obviously. So, but then they use that. They're like, oh, they didn't make a comment. They're hiding something. Can we kill Figment's repair? Can we do it? Etc. Like, it's so silly, but it's still kind of fun. It's fun to make that kind of thing. This is all posted, by the way, in my my artfight, artfight.net/glacialprimates. You can find figments there. I love figments. Man, I love figments. Reading through this, I'm just like, oh yeah, this was fun. This was made out of I hate using the word passion, out of curiosity and enjoyment. And like, you know, There's this person who just writes like a random sticky note, like, Figments watch us closely. They behold our every move, their presence a testament to the mysteries of the universe. While their purpose eludes my grasp. I don't know why I'm speaking in an accent. There is no malice there, but curiosity and intrigue. Their watch embraces me like ethereal companions entwined in a trust that transcends this physical and mortal plane of humankind. Their guardianship in the aether wraps me in a sense of safety, knowing that they are just beyond our sight. They are always there. I think I meant like knowing that though just beyond our sight, they are always there, or something like that. But yeah, this is just like, this is one page. I have plenty more. Like there's like, I made TV. This is one of my favorite things to make. Definitely inspired by Local 58. Like a contingency reel of figments only to be used when fleeting images of grotesque metaphysical emulations of natural things, or figments, have infiltrated the general public and caused significant concern for harm, etc., etc. And public broadcast only upon Governor General approval. Yeah, emergency broadcast from 2002. So this was kind of when people started going like, what the fuck are these? And start, you know, conspiracy theorists suddenly aren't just sounding like conspiracy theorists. They're starting to sound kind of plausible. Lots of warnings, right? Like, do not look into a figment's eyes because figments can put you into a trance. They include visual and auditory hallucinations, induced hypnosis, and short-term memory loss. Victims do not remember encounters due to their figment trance. Figments remove memories from their victims when under their trance, and it may be a method of mind control. That is complete conjecture, by the way, because we don't know. Because nobody remembers. Those who claim to remember figment trance are lying. Do not trust them and report them to the authorities immediately. I love this kind of ARG shit. I love this kind of universe where it's just like, just tell the police everything, even though the police can do nothing about it. I love that dynamic. I just love... I would never want to encounter it. I would never want to live through it, but like that feeling of just like helplessness. You know what I mean? Like, oh yes, tell the authorities, tell the military. We are here to protect you, even though nobody knows what's going on. That kind of panic makes for some very interesting scenarios. And it is a very good way to explore like humanity. You know what I mean? Like you can't just, oh, okay, I'm just going to trust law enforcement and go about my day. No, now you have to be a human. You have to trust your instincts. You have to listen. Are you going to listen? Are you going to respond to your natural curiosity? Are you going to respond to your natural fight or flight instincts? Like, everyone behaves differently. Lots of fun ways to have tension around. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you see it, do not engage. Don't look in its eyes. Take the nearest fire escape. Leave your loved ones behind. I just wanted to add that just because, you know, it's unsettling. It's a creepy thing. Do not run. Walk calmly. Do not look up. It will be watching you. Ooh. Once outside, call 911. Do not re-enter until emergency services have arrived and declared it safe. What can emergency services do? It's a figment. What can they do? You know what I mean? Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna walk in there, say, oh, figment's disappeared. Okay, safe. They can't do anything. They can't do anything to prevent it from happening again. Call 911 though. Then 911 doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to solve it. Also, just like the backgrounds for this, literally I looked up just film reel overlays and liminal spaces. This is just a room with a bunch of fans in it. Add to the unsettledness. This looks like a forest. I think this is like a playground. There's like, you can kind of make up like a swing set here, I think. That kind of stuff. It's so funny. It's so fun making this sort of stuff. Along with, of course, the actual figment ref. These are the figments made by me, etc., etc. And this is more so like for the art, for the style guide, for making an actual OC of one. Because they're very expressive, they're very fun. Because in reality, yeah, they're not these actual creepy things. Like, sure, they're void-like and you can't actually make out what they are, but they're cute. Like, look at them, they're so cute. They're so cute, I love them. But yes, they can be any kind of body shape. I wanted to make a species that can kind of be whatever you want. Just make something and color them in black and make them spooky and mysterious. Make them expressive. Play with body language a bit more. It's a very good practice for making silhouettes, readable silhouettes. Like this thing, I took forever making this because I did not know how to show the leg, because I could have just made this flat, right? And it wouldn't have been very readable. It forced me to say, okay, here's the pec. I think that's a pec or an arm. There's the pec, there's the tummy, there's the hips, there's the leg, there's the knee, there's the foot. Like, you have to force yourself to make an exaggerated silhouette in order to actually make it be readable. So making figments, if you want, practice making silhouettes, make a figment. Also, this is what it looks like as you fall under trance, like you start getting hallucinogenic effects. As you can see here, obviously, like, everything gets warped. There's a whole bunch of different things. Looking into a figment's eyes will put you into trance. There you go. Exact hallucinogenic effects of figment trances differ from figment to figment, but usually there's some sort of environmental patterning, synesthesia, sorry. Not synesthesia. Amnesia or mental rejuvenation. After prolonged periods, which is hours or close to a day, yes, you could be in trance for a while. Time seems to slow down, and I can almost, yeah, because this is written in, sorry, I'm starting to ramble. This is written in the point of view of someone who's like taking their own notes and like making their own sketches, kind of thing. But yeah, like if you're in a trance for hours or close to a day, time can seem to slow down because you're thinking faster to the speed of light, kind of thing. Like it's all sorts of things. Because I also wrote like a congressional summary. I won't bore you with this because this is just like, oh, what would the Department of Metaphysical Intelligence think about, like this overview, and it shows you like how they actually work physically, because I actually thought about the physics, how they actually vibrate at really high and precise rates, such that they can disappear and reappear because the light, like photons, actually just pass right through them because they're vibrating so fast, somehow at or faster than the speed of light. All kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, they adopt the forms of local fauna, all kinds of, again, this is all my art fight if you want to check it out if you're interested, because like I went hard into these. But yes, their presence is only detectable through visible manifestation or the electromagnetic effects they have on their surroundings, because again, they're moving at or faster than the speed of light, they're giving off energy, they're interacting with electromagnetic radiation somehow. So yeah, like this study confirmed that pigments absorb radio and microwave signals in addition to light, so they absorb more types of electromagnetic radiation than just light. So yeah, your Wi-Fi will go out, your TV will go out. That's kind of like the explanation of like, oh, if your TV goes staticky, there's a figment around, be careful, kind of thing. That's just kind of a throwaway reason for why. But yeah, that's why they behave unpredictably or shut down with a figment nearby. However, their function is typically restored once the figment returns to its aether form or it becomes invisible. And yeah. Of course, ending it off with like, oh, they pose a potentially catastrophic threat to all of humanity. We urge the public to remain calm and cooperative during this period of stuff, But yeah, I use the word aether a lot, like the aether form, because it was something that I learned about in college, actually. It was something that was disproven by Einstein, whereas, yeah, the aether theory, which is a concept long dismissed by Einstein's theory of relativity. But the aether theory just very broadly just means we thought that atoms existed in this sort of like liquid soup. You could think of it like a soup, which is called an aether, and that's what the particles kind of exist in, and that's how light can pass through a vacuum, and that's how gravity works. Like it kind of, it's on all points. But Einstein's theory of relativity very much dismissed that, and it explained things in a much more clearer and predictable way. So it was kind of just dismissed. But I was like, what if figments displayed behavior of the aether theory? What if both are correct in a way, like how can we just throw the physics community in such a loop of just being like, do we know anything about the universe? Have we been on like the wrong course of action? How can things move faster than the speed of light? Like Einstein says, you can't. It takes an infinite amount of energy. Okay, how are these creatures doing it? Like, just completely throwing off physics. I made a really good metaphor. Yeah, like imagine theoretically, let's say we all know in the real world 1 + 1 = 2, right? Arithmetic 1, 2, 3, like numbers and stuff, those are proven to be consistent. Those have a lot of like 2 + 2 = 4. That has like a mathematical proof of like 10 pages. Like someone has written down like step by step how arithmetic and math is solid in almost every case, and it can be used to describe almost every single, basically. They say almost because they can't prove everything, but basically it can describe everything in the universe. Numbers are so consistent that they can describe everything in the universe. But figments, with their ways of vibrating faster than the speed of light, then doing all this kind of stuff, it's basically like saying, oh, here's a figment. They prove that 1 + 1 = 3. We don't know how. We can't give you a proof that proves 1 + 1 = 3. It completely goes against all of everything that we know, to the fundamentals of 1 + 1 = 2. How do we factor that in? Does that mean that we've been completely wrong? Does that mean that there's just another kind of part of the equation that we haven't been looking at? How does that fit in? Do figments fit in? Or have we been wrong, or are they just another piece of the equation? So that's the sort of thinking that the scientific community in this universe is going through. And it's something that just really, I think it was very much influenced by my reading of Ted Chiang, who wrote the short stories that influenced the movie Arrival. If you know what the movie Arrival is, with Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. That movie about the aliens who spoke in circles and could see, therefore, like, because they could think with circles, they could see time in circles, and so they didn't have a concept of beginning, middle, end. They didn't think linearly, they thought holistically, and so they could see past, present, and future kind of thing. That kind of, like, Ted Chiang wrote the short story that basically is that movie. Like, he's so brilliant, absolutely amazing author. I completely recommend. I'll write that in chat actually really quickly. Ted Chiang. The book, the short story collection is called The Story of Your Life and Others. Super amazing, like super good short stories. Absolutely incredible. What he does with his world building and like condensing these really cool, smart, sciencey concepts into real world, regular universes. Like, and for instance, like the one short story, the one short story is about a man whose wife died, but something that makes this not just any normal story is that God is proven to be real, and angels descend from heaven in these so-called like events, and like that are like natural disasters, and that are like, and they have a whole bunch of different effects on the earth. And so like whenever these angels come down, like they cause a lot of destruction, they break windows. It's kind of like a sonic boom kind of thing, and so people like can get into car accidents and die, which is how this man's wife died, was during a visit of Raphael, one of the angels. So like, it's just so cool how he folds these cool assumptions, like challenges our normal assumptions, and then makes a fictional science fiction universe that that says, okay, what if this thing that we thought was true all the time wasn't true, right? So it's really cool. It's really cool. The first short story in the anthology is about a man who travels up the Tower of Babylon. If you know what that is, it's a religious story that says like it was a tower that they were building to go up into heaven. He has a lot of actually religious theming now that I think about it. It's very fun. And so they were building, so it follows the story of this guy who's like, oh, I'm one of the builders who wants to witness like the last few bricks, who wants to see like the finished construction of this tower. And so it shows his journey going up and up and up, and like, it's so cool how he describes, I won't spoil it, because how he describes it and how he kind of like imagines it and wraps up the story is so cool and so clever in a way. And I remember just reading that first short story, just beginning to end. It isn't long. It only takes about like 30 minutes to read front to back, like the first short story. I was enamored, completely enamored with his writing style and the way that he like built up this world. not just by saying, oh, this happens in, oh, like, you know, like this is something that happens in the world. He like shows you through action, and it doesn't make a big deal of it, just says, oh, this is normal for this world. Like, oh, once you get up high enough, suddenly the sun is below you. And so the people living there, they don't make a big deal of it. They just grow their crops on the edges of like these platforms, and the crops grow downwards. Like just little things like that are like so clever and cool. It might not sound like much, but when you read it, it's very interesting and very cool how he ties all of this sort of, all these little what if we were wrong things into his short stories. And I think that collection of short stories, The Stories of Your Life and Others, has been so revolutionary to my thinking and to my idea of creativity. Because growing up I read a lot of like fantasy stuff, and like it kind of just felt like, okay, it didn't feel groundbreaking. I guess that's the best way to put it. It didn't feel groundbreaking. But it was like reading these short stories, I was just like, wow. Like this is so, oh, excuse me, holy crow. It was so cool and so new to me and so interesting. Like something about short stories that kind of is different from a novel is that you can put in so much into such a tiny little, like you are forced to condense so much material into such a tiny thing that every sentence packs a punch, right? And it's so fun to read short stories because you don't have to have a fully fledged idea. You don't have to have a perfect beginning, middle, end, like, you know, rising action, climax, etc., etc. Of course, they often do, and that's what makes them engaging. But you don't have to have a fully fledged out universe where you have to explain every single detail. You can just say, hey, this is our world, but there's this happening, this happening, this happening. We won't tell you why, but this is happening and this is happening. Here are these characters, boom. Done, right? And I think that that's very fun. And so that sort of like revolutionary, what if we were wrong kind of thing that Ted Chiang talks about and kind of plays with in all of these stories, I didn't even think about it much until just recently, actually. Yeah, I folded that kind of thinking into my Figment lore and into these funny little goobers, you know, like look at these funny little goobers. Who'd have, like, even though they're so silly looking and so fun and so cute, I love the idea of just having this sort of depth to them that you don't even need to know in order to appreciate the characters, but it's there if you want to tap into it. And I think it's just so much fun to create those sort of worlds. Because also creating those sort of worlds helps to see where these things fit into our world, right? Because you can make species and you can make characters, and that's great. But they have to interact with the world in order to exist. How do they interact with the world? Well, you have to have a world for them to interact with, right? And so that was kind of what I thought of, was like, okay, I'm going to give them a world where they are not normal. And not only are they not normal, they are anti-normal. They are completely against everything. They go against the assumptions. They tell us we might be wrong about some fundamental truths of our universe. And I thought that that was fun. So yeah, again, Ted Chiang, The Story of Your Life and Others, amazing short story collection, completely recommend. It is so good. Even if you're not like into quote unquote science fiction, it's not science fiction like Star Trek. It's not science fiction like Stargate and like those kinds of things. It is a very different take on it. Some stories, I will admit, they kind of get, he has like this tendency to use really big words sometimes and to explore these concepts that are just like maybe a bit too ambitious for the average reader. I remember the one story was a thing about like what if like our minds got bigger and bigger? Like what if there's a way to like tap into our hidden, like the thing of where, oh, you only use 10% of your brain, what if we used it all? Playing on that idea. And eventually just started using like really, really big words that actually meant things, and he was using them correctly, but you had to use a dictionary every sentence. And so I was like, this is really ambitious and really cool for someone who knows that sort of, and who can understand that sort of lexicon, but for an average reader, it's just like, what the fuck are these people talking about? It's basically like the science fiction thing of algorithm, you know, like we're like, oh, I can't crack this algorithm just to sound smart, even though, like, you know, that isn't maybe the right word, but he uses them in the right way. But it just feels like that to the common reader, just like, oh, he's just using big words that he doesn't know, but he does. He's really fucking smart. Oh, but yeah, really good stuff. That has definitely influenced me a lot. I'll show you the cover of it, actually. Amazon.ca. We'll go on Amazon. The story of your life and others. Oh, stories. It's plural. It's plural, actually. What's up really quick? Stories of your life and others. That's what it's called. Super good. Super. I don't think I'm doxing myself by this, am I? Also, I am buying a orange pie. This is an orange pie. I'm buying an orange pie to get Pi-hole in my house. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically, it's a program that can run on a Raspberry Pi or a similar sort of tiny computer that blocks ads for all the devices on your internet network, which is super nice. So I ordered an orange pie, which is like a Raspberry Pi, but this one is, it's kind of like an offshoot brand. It's kind of like horrible comparison, but it's safe to say, like, it's like Raspberry Pi is Bad Dragon and Orange Pie is like Strange Bellepellas, or like, you know, like another kind of like fantasy toy shop. That's a good comparison, I think, to that, because Raspberry Pi is very good and very reputable and was kind of like the groundbreaker in that sort of affordable microcomputers. But Orange Pi is like a really nice alternative. And what I like about this board is that it has like an Ethernet port in it, so you don't have to get a whole bunch of adapters in order to use the tiny computer. Like, I can just plug in the Ethernet cord, I can plug in power, and boom, it'll work. This will be really nice. And also, this little case is so cute. I like the little case. I will send updates. I'll post updates on like Twitter and stuff, like as I make that in Blue Sky, because I'm super excited about that. By the way, if you want to follow my Twitter, you totally can right there. Other details and stuff as well are on like on my card, like other contact and stuff. Anyway, I'll be posting stuff in there because it looks like fun. And I played a lot with Raspberry Pis and Orange Pis and that sort of like microcomputer stuff in college as part of a computer engineering degree. It is only suitable that like when we were learning about the Internet of Things, which is like a whole bunch of tiny little sensors and like smart technology where, oh, you can have a sensor outside that detects when it's raining, so it'll automatically shut your windows or something like that kind of stuff, where it all connects to the internet and sends a whole bunch of data. IoT is also like smart thermostats, like, you know, you can get like Google Home stuff, where it can send data about your temperature trends in your home. You can make smart schedules from an app on your phone, and you can control the heating in your house. That's what Internet of Things is. The Raspberry Pi and like little microcomputers are very good at processing that information with very low power, and it's very similar to what you would actually get inside, say, like a Google Home thermostat. So it was very applicable to the computer engineering degree, right? To know how to program a Raspberry Pi, because then we'd know, okay, these are the sort of concepts that we need to think about when we're designing an Internet of Things application, or like when we're designing the next smart thermostat, etc., etc. Because that's what computer engineers do. They make these, they design these small microcomputers and these silicon chips that will go into those electronic devices, and that will send information over internet, that will design those antennas and all those tiny little sensors and stuff like that. So that's how I got introduced into Raspberry Pis, and they're so fun. You can do so many cool little things with that. Like if you have a little dev kit, you can make it like play funny little sounds through a speaker, or what did we do? I had like I designed a web application that could turn a little, what was it? No, it was not a smart home. It was a smart parking lot, where it could like detect with induction sensors underneath the pavement, which is like similar to how sometimes left turn signals at intersections work. That's by the way how left turn intersections work. There is a big coil underneath the road in the left turn lane that will create electrical current through induction, is what the physical property is called. When a car moves over it, it'll create a current inside that big loop, and so the computers inside of traffic lights can detect, oh, there's someone moving on the left turn lane, there's someone there who has to turn left, and so that can turn like the left turn only sign there, the left turn only signal on the traffic light. That's what induction sensors can do. They're really cool. So I was thinking of I designed a web application for a smart parking lot, where each of the parking spots had those same kind of induction motors, so it would detect when someone drove on top, and then it could also send pulses through that coil and say, oh, is there someone on top of it still? Is there someone parked here? And it can also detect when someone's leaving. So very cool stuff. And then I designed a web application that could interface with these sensors through the internet, which is what the Internet of Things is, right? And then it could like update, and like the collection point for all of that data is a Raspberry Pi. And the Raspberry Pi runs this little web interface that you can tap into and say, oh, how many cars are parked? Where are they parked? Okay, this spot's taken. I want you to flag a light here saying, okay, you can't park here. I want this to be, like for different traffic flow stuff. All sorts of nerdy shit that you probably don't care about, which is fine. But it's just so fun. I love computers. I love those tiny little things, and I'm excited to have an Orange Pi, because even though I'm buying it for the sole purpose of like setting up Pi-hole, setting up an ad blocker to interface with my router so that I don't have ads everywhere in my house, it will be fun to play with that sort of technology again. I've been missing it since college. I've been missing having the sort of exposure to all sorts of different devices, and talking to people who know what they're doing, who are very smart. I don't talk with many like professors and researchers now that I'm out of college, and I sort of wish that I took a bit more time to get to know their research and get more involved in that. But at the same time, I'm very, very happy with where I'm working right now, and the sort of path that I took of just, hey, not only do good in your classes, but learn them well and take those concepts and like write some good notes so that you can look back on it and pick it up again. So I did that. And because I already had this job lined up, which I still love. Stressful, but I love. So yeah, I've been rambling, Chad. Holy shit, I just rambled for like a solid hour probably. We haven't done much emote work, have we? Have we? But yeah, anyway, those are figments. How did I get there? Oh yes, because we were on Amazon. Yes, the Ted Chiang Stories of Your Life and Others. Super good collection of short stories. Wholly recommend for anyone who wants a little bit more of an intellectual, stimulating read. Very, very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Also, if you want to learn about figments and like draw these funny little babies, little void-like everywhere babies, do it. You can follow my art fight. There's some more information on there. I also made a little animation too. I want to show off my animation. I made this little thing. Look at this, look at these little goobers. I was so happy with this animation. I just kind of threw this together really quickly just as a thumbnail. But this just shows how they move. Because they can move faster than light, they don't really like walk usually, right? Like they don't like take the time to slug through time really slowly. They just kind of turn invisible, travel faster than the speed of light, and reappear really quickly in what I like to call blinking. Again, inspired by Dishonored 2. I love Dishonored. That's a rant for another time. But this just demonstrates kind of like how they move. Like, they can move at normal speeds, and they do when they interact with people. But when they actually, like, engage in locomotion, I guess that's the best way to put it. Like, when they actually, like, jump from place to place, that's what they actually do, is they kind of jump back and forth, back and forth. I'm not streaming. I'm recording. You know what? That's okay. I just realized that I wasn't actually streaming. and that's okay. I think I can actually post this as a video, nevertheless. If you want something to watch later. I am saying this, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I didn't get anyone in chat, and I was like, that's okay. But, that makes a lot more sense now. I'm not gonna go live now, because my voice is tired from rambling. Oopsie. But yeah, I think there's a way that I can upload this video just as a VOD, or something like that. And I might go and do that, or I might go and post it on a YouTube or something. I might do something with this, but my apologies, chat. I meant to stream. I pressed the wrong button. Oopsie oopsie. I should have, that also explains why Seribot didn't join. Oh well. But yeah, so I'm just gonna quit now then, because my voice is getting tired. And also that kind of just wraps up my whole rant about figments and science fiction and ARGs and all the different little things I love. Again, all of this is available on the art fight if you want to check that out. You absolutely don't have to, but it's something that you totally could do. Here's a laughing emoji. But yeah. We'll make a laughing emoji. We'll do that next week. This Friday, I will say, this Friday, I am on a live collab with Sharksighted and Benji. We love Sharksighted and Benji. We're going to be doing some Sea of Thieves, and I'm super, super excited. It's always such a blast when we do stuff together, and I'm super excited to get going on that and to keep to play some games on a Friday night. They are both very high energy, and I'm probably going to match them just because that's how I am as an introvert. I match the energy. So it's going to be super chaotic. It's over on Benji's stream. I will put a shout out to Benji right now. Even though I'm technically not live, that's okay. It's Benji is where you should go. It should show up in the VOD chat there. It's Benji. Go over to his Twitch Friday night at 7 p.m. MST or 6 p.m. PST or 9 p.m. EST, depending on where you are. I won't do any other time zones because I think you can do the math from there. If you do any sort of North American interfacing with people in different time zones, you can probably just kind of calculate based on those three. But yeah, I hope that if you are watching this or you did watch this, I hope that it's brought you peace. It gave you a little something to do in the background. No pressure to talk, because it's just me rambling away. It could be like a little YouTube video or something, you know, just something to have in the background while you do some Minecraft or something. I'll probably just go to start doing Minecraft as soon as I end stream. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of what I do. But yes, if you've been listening, thank you so much for being here and for listening to the VOD. I do notice those view numbers on the past broadcasts and whatnot, and so if you do watch this, I appreciate you for doing that. I hope that this brought you some relaxation and comfort, a little something to have in the background, and that I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I meant to stream today. I forgot to advertise it, and I forgot to go live, so maybe it's all for the best, you know what I mean? Maybe this was all meant to happen, because I still had a lot of fun. All that rambling was still great. I still feel really good. I feel fulfilled no matter what. I feel very happy because today was a hard day at work, and so it felt good to come home and just have a drink and ramble about science fiction, which I have not done really ever. So yeah, thank you for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Again, this Friday at 7 p.m. MST, that's where we'll be doing Sea of Thieves on It's Benji's channel. Go check me out there. I'll do some posts on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on all those little things. But again, thank you all for being here. If you were here, I'll see you over there. We'll stream again next week. On the Tuesday, Friday schedule as normal. I'll hit the start streaming button instead of the start recording button. I should have caught that. That sucks, but it's okay. It's okay. An hour and a half of good chatting, that'll do. That'll totally do. All right, chat. I will talk to you all later, though. Thank you for being here again. I will see you all on Friday. And, yeah. Remember, it's cool to be cringe. All that kind of shit. It's cool to be cringe. Cringe is cool. No one's expectations matter except yourself. The coolest you can be is yourself. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I don't have anything else to say. I think I'm getting kind of drunk. We'll see. I might be. I don't know. I'm just kind of in a weird headspace of just starting to ramble. I might probably go and actually read some of that book now that I think about it. Go read some of Stories of Your Life. That first little booklet with Tower of Babylon. I'll probably touch that one because it's a really cool one. Take care, chat. Thank you for being here. I'll see you live next time.